Hello, my name is Asia Johnson, and I chose to review the video Math Project Board Games. So, throughout watching this video, I learned that I really liked it, and I liked the concept that they used for the assignment. I like that they used a more game based approach and tried to engage the kids in fun, even though that they were actually helping their learning. So I think this would be a good concept to use in other courses and content areas as well. So, more about the class is that this class was ninth graders, and their content area was math. So there was no guiding questions or standards that were discussed in the video, but just based off of what I saw, the standards were for the students to gain more understanding of the ninth grade math concepts that they had reviewed in class. So these students were also reviewing elementary math concepts that that they had used when they were in elementary school as well. So a summary of the lesson was that the ninth graders were supposed to create a board game over a math concept that they had reviewed in class. The board game had to include 25 level appropriate math questions. So these questions were supposed to be questions that they should have been able to answer based off the concepts that they had already reviewed in class. And then they also had to make 25 elementary questions for fourth and fifth graders because later on, the fourth and fifth graders would play these board games and engage in learning these math questions. So later on, after that, the students would give a review back to the ninth graders to tell them like how they did on their board game. They would either tell them if they enjoyed the board game or if they didn't like the board game. However they felt about it, they were able to discuss that with their teacher. So what did I see? Throughout the video, the teachers were walking around just observing the students as they played the board games, just letting them engage in fun and work with their teammates. The students were gathered in groups, mostly multiple groups, because there were different stations that had different board games. So it was multiple groups throughout the room. And as I could see, the students were using like paper and pencils and colors, like coloring pencils and markers and things like that. Just traditional supplies that they would use in school. So, what did I think about the lesson? I personally thought that the lesson was effective, that the students were able to engage in their own way of learning. They were able to express the knowledge that they already had on the math concepts by making these questions. And they also were able to engage with one another and build their communication skills within a group. And they're also able to use their problem solving skills because when playing these board games, they had to think about what the answer would be to these problems. So I believe this lesson definitely boosted some of their skills that they have. I think this is definitely different from a traditional lesson because with the traditional lesson, the teacher typically gives you a lesson, then you typically like take a quiz or do an assignment on it. But these kids were actually able to engage with one another and have fun with the lesson. So, what does it make me wonder? So, it makes me wonder if the children could tell me what steps were involved or what different strategies did they use to complete this assignment? Or could they explain to me how the operation was completed? Are they going to be able to tell me, like, I know this because of this? Like, could they really tell me where they would get their answers from and how their thought process was when making this board game? Um, I think that this assignment could face some barriers of frustration and anxiety from students. Some students may not have gotten a concept so well, and it may make them feel a sense of anxiety from it, or maybe even frustration. Not everybody is always on the same level, so I think that this could cause frustration. But there's also other group members that's in the group that could give some motivation to help that student overcome those barriers. That is all that I have. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.